Good evening and welcome to State of Business on Art Television. I'm Tamiru Nimsat. Let's have a look at the headlines. French President embarks on a historic visit to Sri Lanka. Japanese Foreign Minister calls on the President. News in detail. French President Emmanuel Macron made a historic visit to Sri Lanka following his trip to the South Pacific region. This visit marked the first time a French president has visited the country. The French president made this brief visit to Sri Lanka on the 28th of this month. During the visit, President Ranil Wickremesinghe and President Macron held friendly and productive bilateral discussions which lasted for an hour and 15 minutes. The main objective was to enhance the existing relations between Sri Lanka and France, especially considering the 75th anniversary of their diplomatic ties being celebrated this year. As the fourth largest creditor to Sri Lanka, France pledged its assistance in the debt restructuring process, aiming for a positive outcome for the country. In a Twitter post following the discussions, President Macron stated Sri Lanka and France are two nations in Indian Ocean sharing the same goal. The discussions between the two leaders focused on strengthening cooperation in economics, tourism, climate change, sustainable development and maritime activities. The areas also included the establishment of a school for maritime safety and security, the opening of a permanent office for the French Agency for Development in Sri Lanka. As part of the commemoration of the 75th anniversary of diplomatic relations between the two nations, several specific areas for further collaboration were identified. Foreign Minister of Japan, Hayashi Yoshimasa, paid a courtesy call on President Ranil Wickremesinghe to discuss cooperation and regional stability. The meeting took place at the Presidential Secretariat on the 29th of this month. The two dignitaries engaged in discussions concerning the bilateral relationship between Japan and Sri Lanka with a mutual commitment to further strengthen ties. President Wickremesinghe expressed his gratitude to the Japanese government for their support in the debt restructuring process. The talks also revolved around areas of cooperation such as light rail transit, the East Terminal, the Kandy Development Plan and Central Highway. Another major point of discussion was the expansion of the Bandaranaike International Airport with Japanese aid. Both parties expressed the importance of expediting the implementation of these projects. Additionally, they delved into bilateral, regional and global issues, emphasizing their shared commitment to maintaining the region as a peaceful and stable area. President Wickremesinghe also highlighted the investment opportunities in Sri Lanka's high-tech industries. This strategic move is expected to present significant prospects for Japanese investors. Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena thanked Japan and said the Memorandum of Understanding on Human Resource Development Scholarship Scheme is yet another landmark in bilateral cooperation. The MOU was signed by Japanese Ambassador Mitsukoshi Hideki and the Secretary to Ministry of Finance Mahinda Siriwardena in the presence of the Prime Minister at the Temple Trees last Saturday. The visiting Foreign Minister Hayashi Yoshimasa was also present at the event. The Prime Minister said the high-level visit from Japan to Sri Lanka was very useful in order to explore potential projects. The Prime Minister said ports, airports, railways, renewable energy, maritime cooperation and mutual efforts to heighten private sector tie-ups as important areas for collaboration. He discussed with Japanese Foreign Minister on the ongoing debt restructuring process, which is co-chaired by the Japanese government and supported by India, France and other donor countries. The Prime Minister recalling that the previous government made a mistake in suspending the proposed light rail transit project and urged Japan to have further discussion on resuming the project. Foreign Minister Yoshimasa Hayashi agreed to consider to import it as a private-public partnership project. Under the MOU signed by the two countries, Japan will provide additional scholarships to Sri Lankan public servants, academics and scholars for higher studies in Japan. The program will continue until 2025 and a sum of 611 million rupees has been allocated by Japan for these scholarships this year. Stay tuned, we will return after this short commercial break.
Even if they force me to turn back 1,000 times, I'll keep trying.
They're determined, driven, and often unwelcome. Millions of people are desperate to start a new life abroad. What do they face on their journey there, and how can they make a fresh start?
Welcome back after the break. Indian Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman said as a large creditor to Sri Lanka, China is welcome to join the efforts steered by Japan, India and France to help the island nation cope with its debt distress. The Finance Minister of India said this while speaking at the Japan-India Forum on Saturday. The Finance Minister called upon the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank to speed up relief measures for countries facing debt vulnerabilities. Sitharaman said that a comprehensive, better and quicker approach is required to address the problem within the common framework of the IMF and World Bank as well as outside it. The minister stated that Sri Lanka is a middle-income country which got into distress because its earnings were limited to tourism and some other areas like export of tea. She also said that Sri Lanka required a quick redressal, although outside of the framework because they are a middle-income country. She pointed out in Sri Lanka's case, Japan, which holds the G7 presidency currently, quickly took the lead to address the distress. Sitharaman said it was an open forum as it wasn't limited to just the three countries. China is welcome to participate as one of the big creditors. The minister noted that they are looking at situations where countries are waiting for more than 3 or 4 years after the application seeking some redressal to get the actual resolution of the issues. State Minister of Transport Lasantha Lagiyawanna revealed government plans to conduct a pilot project of introducing 50 electric buses to the roads of Sri Lanka. The State Minister of Transport made these revelations speaking to journalists at the Presidential Media Centre recently.
ලක්දිව ඉංජිනේරු ආයතනය පෞද්ගලික සමාගමක් රාජ්‍ය සමාගමක් විදිහට ස්ථාපිත කරලා තිබෙන්නේ අක්කර 24ක භූමි භාගය තුළ ඒකල තමයි පිහිටලා තිබෙන්නේ. මේකේ තිබෙන සම්පත් වලින් උපරිම ප්‍රයෝජනයක් ලබා ගන්නේ නැහැ. ඒ අනුව මේ වන විට මාස 6කට ආසන්න කාලයක් තිස්සේ සැලසුම් සකස් කරලා මේ වන විට අමාත්‍ය මණ්ඩල තීරණයක් ලැබිලා තිබෙනවා. මෙම ආයතනය දේශීය හා විදේශීය ආයෝජකයකු සමග ඒකාබද්ධ වෙලා විදුලි ධාවනය වන බස් රථ නිෂ්පාදනය කිරීමේ ආයතනයක් ඇති කරන්න කියලා. ඒ අනුව බස් රථ 50කින් නියාමක ව්‍යාපෘති ආරම්භ කරලා ඒකේ සාර්ථකත්වය තුළ අපේ රටේ විදුලියෙන් ධාවනය වන බස් රථ ප්‍රචලිත කිරීම අරමුණු කරගෙන මේ වන විට එම වැඩපිළිවෙල ආරම්භ කරලා තිබෙනවා.
State Minister also revealed that the government is working towards amending the 7-decade-old Motor Vehicle Act and bill is to be presented for Parliament approval by next year.
අපේ රටේ විශේෂම සංචාරක ව්‍යාපාරීන් භාවිතා කරන සෆාරි වාහන පිළිබඳව තිබුණු වාහනයක් වෙනස් කරනවා. ඉතින් ඒකට නිත්‍යානුකූල බවක් තිබුණේ නැහැ, ආරක්ෂාවක් තිබුණේ නැහැ. ඒ අනුව මොටර් රථ ප්‍රවාහන දෙපාර්තමේන්තුව ඒ සඳහා ප්‍රමිතියක් සකස් කරලා නිර්ණායකයක් සකස් කරලා සියලුම සෆාරි වාහනවලට ඕනෑම වාහනයක් වෙනස් කරලා මෝටර් රථ ප්‍රවාහන දෙපාර්තමේන්තුවේ අනුමැතිය ලබාගෙන නීත්‍යානුකූල තත්ත්වයකට පත් කිරීමට කටයුතු කරලා තිබෙනවා. ඒ වගේම මෝටර් වාහන පනත දශක 7කට විතර ආසන්න පරණ පනතක් කාලෝචිතව දශක 7කට ආසන්න කාලයකට පෙර තිබුණු ප්‍රවාහන තත්ත්වය, මාර්ගවල තත්ත්වය, ඒ වගේම වාහන සංඛ්‍යාව ජනගහනය නෙමෙයි අද තිබෙන්නේ. අද නවීන තාක්ෂණය ප්‍රවාහනයට ඇතුළත් වෙලා තිබෙනවා. ඒ අනුව කමිටු 13ක් පත් කරලා මෙම ප්‍රවාහන පනත සංශෝධනය කිරීම සඳහා අවශ්‍ය ක්‍රියාමාර්ග මේ වන විට අරගෙන තිබෙනවා. අපි ලබන අවුරුද්ද මුල් භාගය වෙනකොට පාර්ලිමේන්තුවට ඒ නව පනත ඉදිරිපත් කිරීමට ඉලක්කයක් ඇතුව කටයුතු කරමු.
Stay tuned for the stock update.
State of Business was sponsored by
IWS.
Trading at Colombo Stock Exchange ended on positive notes today.
The AUS share price index gained 74.53 points to close at. The turnover was 2 billion rupees and over 91 million shares were traded. 20 gained 32.06 points to close at 3,309.60.
Up next are forex rates. That's all our news for today. For this and more, subscribe to our channel on YouTube and follow us on Facebook. Take care and good night.
State of Business was sponsored by
IWS Aviation.
This is Art Television.
It's time to gear up for some spectacular landscapes as we're off to a well-kept secret in Iceland. Also, a look into the high-end business of handmade chandeliers. A manufacturer in Vienna shares its story. And brutalist architecture. Are these 1950s buildings things of beauty or rather massive monstrosities? This and more coming up today on Euromax. But first, it's off to Bosnia-Herzegovina to see how one sculptor transforms a typical everyday writing instrument into a masterful work of art.
A pencil is so much more than a writing implement. It can also be carved into delicate masterpieces like these, crafted by Bosnian pencil artists